or $50,000 in debt. Anybody here with student debt? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Now, I want you to think outside of the box again. Think outside of the status quo. You all know that we live in a very competitive global economy. We need to have the best educated workforce in the world. And you all know that many of the new jobs being created today require a lot more education than the jobs of the past. Now, for a very long time, when we thought about public education, what we talked about was first grade through 12th grade. And that was great 50 years ago. But the world has changed, the economy has changed, technology has changed. In my view, when we talk about public education today, what we've got to be talking about is making public colleges and universities tuition free. This is not a radical idea, all right? The world has changed. Our educational system has to change with it. Other countries, and I know that you all know this, other countries, Germany, Scandinavia, they do that. They provide free college education because they know that investing in their young people is what will make their economy strong. And the other issue is that millions of people, some young and some not so young, are really being crushed with high levels of student debt. And what we have got to do is to say to those people, you will be able to refinance that debt at the lowest interest rates you can find. Now, I am criticized by the establishment, by my opponent. Bernie, this is a very expensive proposition. You want to have public colleges and universities tuition free. You want to significantly lower student debt. That's about $70 billion a year. That's a lot of money. How are you going to pay for it? I will tell you how we're going to pay for it. This is how we are going to pay for it. Remember 8 years ago, when the greed and recklessness and illegal behavior of Wall Street drove this economy into the worst economic downturn since the 1930s, Congress bailed out Wall Street. Well, it seems to me that now is the time to impose a tax on Wall Street speculation. The middle class of this country bailed out the crooks on Wall Street. Now it is Wall Street's time to help the middle class of this country. All right. This campaign is listening. This campaign is listening to our brothers and sisters in the Latino community. And what the Latino community is telling me is that they are tired of 11 million people, 11 million people in this country who are undocumented, who are living in the shadows, who are living in fear, who are living with a great deal of exploitation. And what the Latino community is telling me, that now is the time for comprehensive immigration reform and a path towards citizenship. Now, in a democracy, people can agree or disagree with immigration reform or anything else. But what people cannot do, what Donald Trump cannot do, is engage in bigotry, engage in vicious insults against our Mexican neighbors. That is not acceptable, and we will not tolerate it. And if Congress does not do its job, I will use the executive office and the powers of the presidency to do everything that I can to see that families are united, not separated. And our Department of Justice will take a very hard look at what Sheriff Arpaio and people like him are doing. I am the son of an immigrant. My father came from Poland, and he came to this country not knowing one word of English, so I have some experience with the immigrant family situation. I am tired of seeing young people with tears running down their cheeks, worried that their parents or their brother or their sister will be deported. We're going to put an end to deportations. This campaign is listening to our brothers and sisters in the Native American community. You know, there is no group of people in our country today who have contributed more to our culture, to our respect for the environment, than have the Native American community. And I don't have to tell anybody here that from the first days of when the settlers came to this continent, they cheated the Native American people, they lied to the Native American people, they broke treaties with the Native American people, and today what we are seeing in community after community of Native Americans is outrageously high levels of unemployment, of poverty, of alcoholism, of suicide, of kids dropping out of high school. It is time for the United States government to treat the Native American tribes with respect and dignity. And that is what I will do as President of the United States. I am a member of the U.S. Senate Committee on the Environment. And let me tell you what virtually no Republican will tell you. And that is that the debate is over. Climate change is real. Climate change is caused by human activity, and climate change is already causing devastating problems in this country and around the world. And let me tell you what the scientists are also saying, and that is if we do not get our act together, if we do not transform our energy system away from fossil fuel to energy efficiency and sustainable energy, a bad situation today will become a lot worse. What the scientists tell us, if we do not act boldly, by the end of this century, this planet will be between 5 degrees to 10 degrees Fahrenheit warmer. That is catastrophic. And what that means is more drought, more floods, more extreme weather disturbances, more rising sea levels, more acidification of the oceans, and more international conflict as people fight for limited natural resources. And that is why together, we are going to stand up to the fossil fuel industry and tell them that their short-term profits are not worth the future of this planet. And by the way, while we are talking about environmental issues, we have got to end fracking. There was a piece in the paper the other day. It's not just Flint, Michigan that is suffering from severe water problems. It is hundreds and hundreds of communities all over America. Fracking will make that situation worse. End fracking. I have been criticized by my opponents for saying this, so let me say it again. And that is, health care is a right of all people, not a privilege. Now, the Affordable Care Act has done some very good things, but we have a long way to go. Today in America, 29 million Americans have no health insurance. Many of you are underinsured with high deductibles and co-payments. Is that right? And everyone in this country is being ripped off by the greed of the drug companies. Drug companies charge us the highest prices in the world for medicine, and the situation is so crazy that 1 out of